Hey, Ryan, Theo, Brendan, Casey, Brian. How is everyone? We got the eyeball replacement on that one. I'm trying to clean up some of these eyeballs. They got bad installs. Let's see here. Got all my Patreon plastics in the mail today. Oh, don't show them off, Brendan. What happens at camp stays at camp. I literally thought I'd never show anybody those, but it kind of felt good actually to know that not many people, if anyone, had seen some of them. Almost saw Builder Dude yesterday. You went through Arkansas. Amy's in Arkansas. Frank, what's new up in your part of the world? All right, I'm gonna do spinnerbaits tonight. For one reason and one reason only. Summer spinnerbait sale. It's off season, but who cares? Amy called the AC guy and told him he needed to come look at our house again, and he wants to fix some duct. So I have to pay for that. And in order to pay for that, I have to provide an income. So what better way to do that than finally pull these spinnerbait heads out of my hoard. The ones that I was keeping for myself. But I don't need them. I don't need 40 spinnerbait heads. I don't need 40 spinnerbaits. So I will assemble these tonight. And what I think I'm going to do is I did find even amounts of 3/8 and 5/8, 3/4, whatever you want to call them. Depends on how you weigh your spinnerbaits. Putting spinnerbaits together is not my favorite thing, but when you have to pay for AC to your baby's room, you put spinnerbaits together. John Hogue, what's up? Ooh, hopefully it's just a routine, Tom. 20 plus fish on the root. That little sucker catches everything. Was it the little root or the big root? Some of us have big roots. Some of us have teeny roots. Darius, trying to hook myself again. All different size roots out there in the world. 20 plus. Which color were you throwing, Darius? The green one or the chartreuse one? Turns out we in fact weigh our 3/4 different. Yeah, if you take a Hank Parker, the blue and green one, how about that? If you take a Hank Parker and you actually just weigh the head and the hook and the frame, it's not a 3/4 ounce. Come to find out, it's more like a 5/8. But when you assemble it, it gets up into the 3/4 ounce range. So yeah, they don't tell you that on the package, but because for a while I would buy or I had a mold. It was similar. It was a similar head design. They're somewhere around here, but it was a true 3/4 ounce head, and it was a little heavy to match a Hank Parker, but it still worked. I know I had a lot of my buddies use them, and I don't think I ever sold those. I think I only sold those privately because I had to airbrush all the heads, and that was a pain in the ass. But then I started actually big spinnerbait maker now. Yeah, I have to fund my AC to get worked on AC. I mean AJ. So I got to see. I think I've got 40. Your 3/4 finishes at 3/4. Mine starts at 3/4. Yep. Yep. That's what I've got both. I don't have both in this head. I've got a true 3/4 ounce head that mine is true to Hank, to hog collar, to Mans. That is what mine is true to. So let's see. 5. Make sure I got my numbers right. 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. 10. Okay. The starter was great. Starter, it made me realize that whenever my truck starts cranking slow or just not fast, because I love, like my dad's truck, when I get in it and it's a 2016, you can tell the starter's getting kind of worn out because it's not crispy like a new starter. And to me, there's nothing that brings me as much joy as when an alternator and a battery and a starter are all jiving, and when you hit the key, it's like boom, and like it's really fast and it's really responsive and like it sounds strong. That excites me. That's almost as good as a buzzbait bite. So you kind of get used to it, like when it's kind of draggy and you just kind of want to be like in denial. You're like, starter sounds kind of weak, but 7, 8. I thought I had more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It might not be a 40 drop. I might have miscounted. One size fits all says baby hands would not. Which, these gloves? I think these are Costco gloves. Smallmouth, largemouth, sauger, bluegill, drum, gar, going to put nukes on it. Damn, Darius, I don't know. I mean, it might be the most like universal fish catching bait ever made, because I took it up north, caught the damn giant walleye. Darius is catching every species that swims in Kentucky Lake today. They don't care. They just have to eat it. Action's so good, it triggers fish that don't even eat crankbaits to eat crankbaits. Did you keep the sauger? I hope so. It's crazy you caught a bluegill on it. But it does kind of skew your numbers when you say you caught 20 and half of them were potentially trash fish. But yes, the starter sounding good. Exhaust manifold leaking, not sounding so good at startup. It kind of puts salt in the wound of the fresh starter when you crank it up, and then you hear the hiss and the tick of the exhaust manifold leaking. But I think I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna have to take that to a shop because I'm about 100% positive uh, I'm gonna break off a bolt. Pretty certain. And I can't weld, so I won't be able to get it out. If nothing is wrong, you should be worried. Yeah, that's like I was over at my parents' house Saturday or yesterday. I can't remember. It's all the same. And my mom said her stable track and traction control lights were on. I was like, that's normal. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, it could be one of about 50 things. And she was like, well, we're gonna take it to the shop. I was like, that didn't mean anything. I was like, to really diagnose that is really hard. And I said, I don't know anybody that you're gonna take it to is gonna go to the depths it takes to get that done. And I was like, it could be the brake light sensor. It could be like the sensor in the wheel. It could be like a million things. Weird voltages. It could that traction control lights. It could, like they come on for any amount of reason. And started thinking about all the shit I've done to my truck. I was like, dealt with that. Typically, they just go off. Um, does your shoulder hurt from patting yourself on the back? You were unable to throw the root. That is unfortunate, Brian, because your fish numbers would have probably tripled, and you'd have probably had walleye for weeks to fry and eat. The gar put a couple of tooth marks in it. Uh-oh. Shouldn't get through. Shouldn't get through Burnsy's epoxy. Hopefully. Hella is doing a restream, a regurg stream. He's collabed with Brendan, and Brendan is going to do a show and tell of what he got from the tackle camp. Weird and mysterious show. No, that's awesome, Darius. That everything bit. That should get you jacked up to throw it again. Well, and I really do think there's something. I think there's something special to that bait because I feel like when it catches, I mean, it's just one of those things when something like catches everything, you know it's doing something right. You know what I mean? So if you've got the little root, treasure them. Treasure them. Brennan, did you get your did you order some of the ugly bugs? Anyone want to? Brennan's trying to buy a Slim Root 2.0 after Darius gives the every fish in the lake report. Well, let's see. 18 of these. All right, let me get my big heads. All right. Let's see how many of these I got. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hell, are you really streaming tonight? Are you a Monday nighter now? It's gonna be real competitive. BBC, Smallmouth Crush, whoever else. Five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 10, 15, 20. So I need to take 2 of these away, and it'll be 18 and 18. Okay. Oh, we said Wednesday. Do you have spinnerbaits in Mindy Magic? I'm sure I can make that up real quick. Put some, dig out my copper blades. Gets down to 5 on Darius's scope. Saving my little roots for the river. Hopefully I don't donate them to all the jetties. That would be very unfortunate. Double willow. That's the only thing. Like the big one, I was certainly going to put Colorado, Indiana. Big Colorado, Indiana, because that's what that bait is made for. But the 3/8, I was going to put. Let's see. Not that. I'll have to see if I've got this combo, but it's a little Indiana and like a 2.5 gold Colorado. I don't know if I have enough of those, but that's what I was going to do on those. I guess I could do some willow leaves. People like willow leaves, but I don't know. I'm trying to, dude, that joker will catch them. It will catch them. Look, it's even got the wacky band on there. But I have I've got a bunch on this bait. A bunch. I have to see my blade count. That's the only issue with doing these. I know I can do the big ones. I got enough blades for those, but the little ones, they might require some different blade combinations. It is an underutilized blade, and that's kind of why I wanted to use it, because I don't feel like a lot of people are probably going to go out and find that everywhere. And it might be something, worth trying. I like throwing it. So we shall see. I probably should start counting blades and see how many I can do. I probably got like 6, which wouldn't surprise me. It seems like every time I need blades, I don't have the right size. That is the way it always works. Morgan, have you tried these Bear Valley blades? Number 6. Could put Little Indianas on them. I don't know that I have enough of those though either. Probably not. But what size are these? Number 3. Damn it. I need smaller. Here's number 4 Willow. There they are. Number 3. Ooh, that's sexy. Look at that. Yeah, they're big. They're nice though. Black nickel. Turtleback. I actually like black blades a lot, especially in clear water. Believe it or not. Not painted black, but nickel black. Ooh, I might have enough. There's another. Depends on how many I've robbed out of that bag. I wish there was a. I wish there was a blade store. Number 4. What are these? Number 4. I got 4s out the Yazoo. Blue blades out the Yazoo. What size are these? 3. Yeah. What size are these? 3. 3. What is with me, dude? Where's my little guys? Maybe they're in another bin. Take those out. I use those anyway. They might have got thrown in another package. I have blue blades. I have different colored blue blades. I have like a bright painted blue that I used as a kicker. I'd put that on I had that on a black spinnerbait actually. I actually have one. Where is it? This one I made up. Well, caught them on that one. That's the thing about those humdingers. They all have like a weird colored kicker blade, and those like those South Louisiana dudes like swear by those colored kicker blades. That's a 3. There's some. There's a few. I don't have a lot. I know you have beef with that silverback side. I do. It really, really, really annoys me because the problem is I've gotten some that have both sides painted, but it seems like it's like few and far between, and I can't ever find the ones that are double painted, and that really bothers me. Because when it flashes, I want it to flash from everywhere, blue, not just the front. Oh, you might be in luck. Y'all might get a bonus. Y'all might get Hildies if I've got them. Let's see. Let's go through my Hildebrandt stash. If I've got a bunch of Hildies, y'all get Hildies. 3.5, not what we're looking for. Red. I need to do some red ones. because I've got really nice Hildebrandt painted blades. What are these? Another red kicker blade. You want those? I got a bunch of those, dude. If you want a willow, varying shades of red glitter. I don't have any Colorados though; they're all willow. But I've got lots of those. Red. Not what I'm looking for. Oh, here you go. Here's that. Here's the Teckle ball sack that used to come on a man's bait. If you want to make your own Teckle thing, just take one of these blades off a old man's spinnerbait. What else is in here? Weird buzzbait blades. Dude, I have a boneyard of weird parts. What is this off of? Roland Martin Big Bass. I guess that was a Blue Fox spinnerbait. There's another Blue Fox Roland Martin Big Bass bait. Ooh. What do you know about that, Morgan? The Bumblebee Chopper Blade. The Bumblebee Chopper. If I had the bougie blades, I'd put them on there, but I don't even have the bougie blades. Nori spoon. Interesting. Let's see what's in here. Oh, you know what else I could put on there? I might do this, maybe. I don't know if y'all are ready for this, though. How many of those do I have? 5. That's not a lot. That's not a lot. What are these? More Indianas. Damn, how many Indianas does a guy need? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Be them. Number 2, Colorado. Looks like there's probably enough. All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. I think we're safe. All right. All right, we're good on that. Those are the old Lunker lure blades, Vibratron. If inline spinners didn't ruin spool of line after tin cats, I'd use them more often. The Blue Foxes are legit. You know how you combat that, Anthony? You throw them on braid. I throw it inline a lot. You gotta throw them on braid, bro. Get you a damn noodle rod. Some like 30-pound braid, 20-pound braid, 30-pound. I use 30, and throw it on braid. It is actually awesome. Not reeling in your bait and it coming in your line like a coil. Or there's some bends you can put in the wire that kind of keep it from rolling over. Later, Tom. Hope you have a good checkup. But there are, I don't particularly like bending the wire to get it to do right. I typically just use braid, and the bites feel better anyway. Oh yeah, big braid guy, big braid guy. Braid mono, no in between. I use a lot of braid. Throw braid on. I don't. The one thing I don't like braid on that I haven't fell in love with yet is I know a lot of guys throw a spook on braid, and it seems like it always wants to knot up the spool. Like if you're trying to like heave up, like I guess I get excited and I like throw too hard and too fast. Like mono I can deal with, but it seems like braid always wants to get grabby more than mono does for me. So I've never fallen in love with braid on a topwater, besides a buzz bait. Throw braid on a buzz bait, swim a jig, frogging, inline spinner, snag with Sally. Um, what else? Um, that's about it. I was thinking about switching over to. I was thinking about switching over from braid to mono leader for swimming a worm. I haven't quite figured. I Uh, haven't quite gone down that path just yet, but it's coming. Um, because on the end of a really long cast, if you get bit with mono swimming a worm and you got to like drive that hook home, the only thing I've switched is that I switched my rod out. I was throwing I was swimming a worm on a 7 foot rod, and I've gone up to like a 7 foot 6 maybe. I think is my. So I'm going to try a little longer action and a little stiffer to see if I can get a better hookup on really long casts. Um, Morgan, we used to swim a jig on mono all the time. I mean, it's goofy as shit, but hell, we used to throw a frog on mono, so it didn't really. We were just used to squish. You know what I mean? Um, None of that really mattered. Um, braid did make things a lot easier. Like it made you feel a lot better when you set the hook, but uh, I'll be interested to see how a worm swims on braid to a leader. I think it'd be great, and it wouldn't have to be a long leader either. I just need the no stretch. We'll see. We'll see. Do we have any swim worm masters? Most guys I probably throw braid or fluoro, but I'm trying to get it like really really dialed to where it's like the right fit for me. Only time you switch to braid is really if it gets nasty. I feel like I'm always around something nasty. That's the problem. Brendan, you got to think, dude. When the old scum frog came out, braid wasn't a thing. Like that was like maybe in the saltwater market, guys were using braid, but like 2002, 2000, braid wasn't really like a deal, and it was really expensive. Back in the day, young Brendan, it was mono or Dacron, and not nobody I knew was throwing down the cash to spool up with anything other than Stren or Berkeley, unless you were real fancy and you like bought P line. But Yeah, you just had to deal with it. You just had to. Well, that's why all my rods are pretty heavy action, because everything I was used to from throwing mono on everything back in the day was a damn broomstick. Like you didn't have actions, or I didn't. Um, you just had broomsticks, so you could drive a frog hook on a scum frog through a fish's face, or hope you did. And then once they got you in something, you just prayed. But yeah, if you go back and you watch like some of those there's some old tournaments on I think the Mississippi River from like the '90s, and those guys they're all ratting on mono. It's pretty funny to watch because they set the hook and their rod bends down to the damn cork, and they're just sitting there just like they're there's nothing you can do. Nothing you can do. Travis, what is your brand of choice for topwater braiding? The block it days when you had 20 pounds of mono, you needed braid and just spooled up 30-pound mono. Yeah, pretty much. If you were flipping in nasty shit, like if you went from like pitching to punching, the only difference was you went from 20 to 30-pound mono. Uh, braid with mono works well with frogs. That scares me to death, South Jersey. Power Pro, 300 yards, $20. There you go. All top water is braid for Darius. I can't get into it with treble hooks. I think I might. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it. Maybe I'll try it. Speaking of treble hook rods, I do have that big giant Powell. Um, I do have that big spook trap glass Powell that's supposedly made for braid and big spooks. Um, but yeah, I don't. That's the thing. I think that's my thing, Morgan. Is braid and treble hooks kind of terrify me. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. I'll probably stick with a mono. I like 20-pound on a super spook. It ain't broke yet, so the only thing I think I need to tweak is a swimming worm. But all right, so now I have blades. That makes me happy. Let me count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Might be short. Hmm. Might be short. I'll fix that. Yeah, Hella. I was when I threw the little bit I threw Hella's spook, um, or whatever his top water was. He was throwing braid with a really short leader, very short. J braid. I like J braid. I've got some J braid on my. I think J braid is on my inline spinner pole and my buzzbait pole. I use them kind of back and forth. Um, so it seems like there are two camps. 20-pound mono on a spitting image junior? Yeah, I'll use 20-pound on anything. I mean, 15 wouldn't bother me, but I'm not. If I have 20-pound tied on, I'm not gonna like change reels or anything. I'm not going to be like, oh, I can't throw this on 20. Doesn't bother me. 15, it would probably work better, but 20's fine. I'll probably, I don't know. I can wait, I guess, and wait till the Burnsies get here. Drop them all together. That heavy of a line affects the action. It's just 20. It's not big. It floats. No more than no stretch braid would be way worse to me as far as action goes. I don't know though. That's what I've never liked, was I never liked how braid like pulled, and it seemed like it always got hung on the front hook. Anytime I've thrown braid on a treble hook bait, like I'd always get that braid on the front hook. Yeah, USPS is really screwed the pooch with their ground advantage. But chapstick. We got some old fly fisherman tricks on here. Edwin Evers uses 8 inches of mono leader, then straight braid. I could get into the leader. Hell is with the leader kind of felt a little more decent. But I don't know. Me and straight braid and treble hooks have never gotten along. Maybe I need a spongier rod. Frank, I've never been able to tie a loop knot that I was like, that I trusted. I have trust issues. Does anybody know like a triple loop knot? Is that a thing? I would probably trust a triple loop knot. What am I throwing that hooks braid? A super spook? Later, Anthony. I'm about to do the same. I gotta go paint some baits or get some started. Propello loop knot works fine. Does it only have one loop through though? Is there any I need to look it up and see if there is a double lined loop knot. I'm sure there is. Guy been out on HPH hook hanger on braid. Yeah, you can do that. That's why like everything you read on the internet you take with a grain of salt. My bait broke. Like, what'd you do to it? Oh, I threw it into a rock wall with 80-pound braid as hard as I could. What'd you do that for? I don't know. Bad cast. Oh. Yeah, those HPHs aren't durable. No, they're fine. They're fine. How many of y'all tie the FG knot? I haven't sat down and tried to learn that. It sounds like fun though. I like complicated knots. I like learning them and then never using them. Brennan ties an FG. Morgan ties it. Only way to go. My buddy Keith ties it, and he does it. I watched him tie it up in the boat, and the way he does it, it was like really fast. But I've never had the crazy Alberto knot break on me, but it is a little thicky. If I could get it down in size, that would be okay with me. See more guys leaving them on bumpers in the back of the boat. Concrete rash is not good. No. Uni to uni. Brian ties the FG. It's a very satisfying knot. That means a lot. That means a lot. I had to learn all kinds of knots when I started experimenting with fluoro. That's what everybody was like. Oh, you can't use a Palomar. And then Van Dam was like, that's all I use is a Palomar. And if you watch Van Dam tie a Palomar, I don't know how they never break on him, because he just goes and snatches. And somehow they cinch and don't burn. Record me tying the FG knot. I think it's going to be embarrassing, Travis. I'll record it. I have to. I guess I have to find me a some way to watch how to do it. Lately, I can't get my finishing knot to cover up the end of the leader of the knot comes undone. It's happening 50% of the time. I think I wear jeweler's glasses. That probably wouldn't hurt. The FG. All right, that'll be my homework after I get all these damn Stearman. It ain't that damn hard. It's just a knot. It's just a bunch of twisties and wrappies. You just got to practice it, I'm sure. You just got to practice. I mean, if it's worth practicing, then certainly I want to learn it. If it's smaller than the Alberto, I will more than likely put in the annoyances of having to tie 100 knots to get it right. Does Keith wrap it with his thumb and his index finger? I don't remember. But he had some little thing, and he's like, "Oh, dude, it's easy. You just do it like this." And he showed me, and I was like, "That was pretty easy." What do y'all think? 100 knots? 100 knots, you'd be okay at it? I mean, I got big game at the Yazoo. Won't be shit to blow through some big game. I'll find some old shitty braid in there. I think I got some old Stren power braid. I don't think Keith does the lizard tongue FG. The FG, it all comes down to keeping the right tension. That's typically how it is with knots. Is like whatever you're doing, it's getting your hands and like how you're gonna tie the knot right. And in my experience, is like once you figure out where your hands need to go and how they need to like be and which fingers you need to use and all that kind of shit. Once you get that figured out, like the process of wrapping it and how the line needs to do what usually makes things a lot easier. But I felt like it took a little while to learn those like fluorocarbon knots where you just have to like hold stuff and wrap it inside this and all those weird little kind of knots. Need reading glasses and a 15-mile-an-hour wind. I'm actually pretty excited about trying this. I'm about to get off of here and look up an FG knot tutorial and see what's going down with this thing. It's really gotten me intrigued. I haven't even uh, like a couple years ago. I think I watched somebody do it, some like saltwater dude, but it's gotten me re-excited about it. Let's see. So, on that note, I'm going to go learn, or I'm just going to go watch FG videos and see if I can wrap my head around how it works. See what happens. So, y'all go home, or if you're at home, or wherever you are, practice your FG knots, and we'll ties it with slackline. I like the sound of that. I'll see. I'll go through and see all these different techniques and see which one I think fits me best, and I will return back with my findings. So let me see what I can find. And tomorrow, I'll tie an FG knot on camera, and we'll see how shitty it is. Later.